Huge game. Manchester United, after drawing to Galatasaray 3-3, for me I refer it as a loss because that was a must win and we really had to put in lots of efforts to score 3 goals, but Andre Onana on 3 occasions costed the club of Manchester United. Welcome to the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And Rokan David is my name. You can as well call me RD, and we are here to obviously continue with what we had to do today. Tomorrow is a big one going to take place at St. James's Park, and the stadium has 52,000 seats. It's gonna be a hostile environment for Man United, not as usual, but we've seen that when United is playing in a very hostile environment, sometimes they go ahead to react. Like you saw it against Everton, the crowd was hostile and they went ahead to obviously get a win of 3-0. Even away in Turkey, Manchester United had gone ahead to obviously get that win. If it wasn't the Onana mistakes, they would have gone ahead to do the needful. And we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims will come back from the Juma Karim and Barak Lau Fikum. Let's see close to 200 likes in this video and continue to subscribe. Now, Manchester United is going to play away at Newcastle, and a lot is into play. When you look at Newcastle, I think Nottingham has more injuries than Newcastle. Let me read to you the players of Newcastle that are really injured. Sean Longstaff, he's having an ankle injury. Jacob Murphy is having a shoulder injury. Joe Willock is having an Achilles injury. Then Matt Targett is having a thigh injury. Javier Manquillo is having a groin injury. Steve Bootman is having an injury. Huffy Barnes is having a foot injury. Elliot Anderson is having a back injury. Carl Wilson is having a thigh injury. And Dan Burn is having a back injury. Sandro Tinali is banned for 10 months, but they expect Matt Ritchie and Emily Kraft to be back in the squad in there for you. So those are the players that are really having injured. That is it. And for Newcastle, before they come into this fixture, they had a very pumped up win against Chelsea over the weekend, 4-1 at St. James's Park, and they'll be looking to really capitalize onto that to bring the same energy against Manchester United. But I don't believe that United will obviously make stupid mistakes like Chelsea made to concede 4 at the St. James's Park. They went away in Paris and they conceded to a late 90 minute plus penalty to Kylian Mbappe in a controversial penalty whereby VAR was put onto the spot. But this same Newcastle had gone ahead to obviously get a controversial goal against Arsenal, and they've been walking away with it. So that's what the game of football is all about. But for Manchester United, who is out? Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Mason Mount, John Evans, Christian Eriksen, Amad Diallo, and Tyrell Malacia. All those are out. Sancho, you know what exactly happened to him. It's all about him being put out of the club of Man United, and it looks like the time for him to come out and obviously offer an apology to Erik ten Hag is over, and he's looking outwards. All he's looking at the exit door of Manchester United, and he wants out of the club. Then Rashford is returning from suspension of the UEFA Champions League, having not gone ahead to play against the team of Galatasaray. He's back to see to it that he plays a very big part into the game of Man United. And Anthony is also back because he had a muscular injury that saw Erik ten Hag not put him in the traveling squad to Everton. But to me, he played his best game of Man United ever as we took on Galatasaray. I think I've gone ahead to obviously break it down a little bit. And now let's go into the probable starting 11 of Man United as we take on the side of Newcastle. The system 4-2-3-1 is really one of those that Erik ten Hag rarely changes, and it's a confirmation that this is his favorite system at the club of Manchester United. And in between the stitches, there has been a lot of hullabaloo about the goalkeeper. of Manchester United. Having gone ahead to see to it that things have not gone ahead to go his way, Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to come in through and really put in huge defense for the goalkeeper. And trust me, it's going to be Andre Onana. Andre Onana is going to be the goalkeeper to really be into the stitches as we take on Newcastle. That is tomorrow. Right back, trust me, it's going to be Aaron Wan-Bissaka taking on Anthony Gordon of Newcastle. Then the left back, I think Luke Shaw is going to really get back into his position, having gotten that rest of 2-3 months ever since the season started. Remember, he played only 2 games. That means he played on the 11th and I think on the 18th. So, from the 18th of August, he hadn't kicked a ball, and he rested for September, October, November. 3 months of rest. I think his body really needed it, and he has gone ahead to obviously get a very good welcome. And it looks like he has been playing football, He has returned and he has gone ahead to put in a lot of effort onto that left back position. Now, in the central defense, right-sided centre-back, I think it's going to be Harry Maguire. Then left-sided centre-back, I think it's going to be Lindelof. Rafael Varane is not yet back into the pecking order of the Manchester United manager. But I won't be shocked tomorrow if at all I see him really in between Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire playing as a left-sided centre-back. Maybe Victor Lindelof might get a rest. But all in all, the manager is not yet happy with the returns or with the training returns of Rafael Varane. And no one trains with them. And it's the manager who will ever tell you the best of how these players are, especially into the way they come in through and really play the game. Now, after that is the back 5. Let's go to the midfield. I think Amrabat put in a very good shift as we took on Galatasaray, that he's obviously going to get a nod into this team, alongside Scott McTominay into the double pivots. Erik ten Hag has shown us that when big games coming through, he obviously doesn't come in through to give Kobe Menu that huge test. He knows that just a single game can spoil the career of this boy, because his mentality needs to be right. And in games like this, where the atmosphere is really hostile, you don't start him. You just keep him on the bench and really bring him on later and really stabilize everything that is being played in the midfield. With the likes of Joe Wellington, Bruno Guimaraes, you have to get in a player like Amrabat and Scott McTominay to match the physicality of their players. I'm not really undermining the physicality of Kobe Menu, but I think he rather comes off the bench and see how he does, because you have to manage him very well. You have to manage his minutes, and Erik ten Hag is doing that very, very well. Then Bruno Fernandes, who was my man of the match as we played against Galatasaray, 1 goal, 1 assist, and remember he also had an assist on his hands as we took on Everton for the Anthony Martial 3rd goal. He comes in through as the central attack midfielder, but this time round he has gone ahead to tick all the boxes, but there is one he's not really ticking: fouling people anyhow, fouling people recklessly, anyhowly. So I just want him to obviously be composed again, especially into the first third of the pitch, that is around the 18 box area of Manchester United. The right winger, Anthony, is there. Facundo Perez also came in through and really put in a very good shift, and Rashford is there. And however much Anthony played his best game, I don't start him. I obviously have to put here Marcus Rashford, because you cannot bench Marcus Rashford, meaning that if you want Alejandro Garnacho to be part in your team, you need to start Rashford and put Anthony on the bench, because there is no way a manager will tell me that he's going to bench a player who has gone ahead to score our first goal in 2 consecutive games. All you have to know is that he's on fire. He needs this playing time. He's still young, 19 years of age. We've seen players at the age of 19 like the Messis, the Ronaldos, the Wayne Rooney's, playing close to 60 games a season. So let's get Alejandro Garnacho in and let Anthony go onto the bench, and Rashford start as a right attack midfielder, Garnacho starting as a left attack midfielder, as Rasmus Hojlund leads the line because he's back and fully fit to play. He played some 56 minutes as we played against Galatasaray, and we welcome him back to see to it that he really gives us the best that we deserve as the club of Manchester United. So that is the starting 11 of Man United, and I hope you guys are going to agree with me, and wait and see tomorrow at exactly 22 hours who will be named into the starting 11 of Manchester United, because for Erik ten Hag, he'll have a chance to obviously come in through and really name his starting 11 into that time. So that is it, and the predicted starting 11 for Man United. And let's obviously go to the match stats, or the head-to-heads that you guys need to know about. The head-to-heads that you guys need to know about this side. So when we go to the head-to-heads that have been given to us by Google, Newcastle won this exact fixture by 2-0 in April. They have not been beaten. They have not beaten Manchester United in consecutive games since October 19. Since October 1972. Yeah, I remember the game. By the way, we just gifted them those 2 goals. We had gone ahead to play very well, but around the 69th minute, Scott McTominay gifted the ball at the edge of the Tina's box area, and we conceded, and then there was a header coming in, I think, from Callum Wilson. That is it. So they've not gone ahead to win us consecutively since 1972, and I think we'll put in a shift tomorrow. Then Manchester United are winless in their last 3 league games against Newcastle, 2 draws and 1 loss, having won 6 of 7 against them between this. They last went 4 without a win against Magpies between 1987 and November 1988. Then thirdly, having won 2-0 in the Premier League in April and 3-0 in the League Cup last month, Newcastle are looking to win 3 consecutive meetings with Man United in all competition for the first time since January 1998. Remember, when they came to Old Trafford, they beat us by 3-0, right? So I think it's high time we obviously throw into the revenge. Now, fourthly, Newcastle kept a clean sheet in both Premier League meetings with Manchester United last season. Yeah, at Old Trafford it ended 0-0, and away at Old Trafford it ended 2-0 in favor of Newcastle. They've not gone 3 league games in a row without conceding against the Red Devils since 1897 in the second tier. So you now know that. Lastly, Newcastle's last 5 Premier League wins against Man United have been 2-0 since beating them 4-3 at St. James's Park in September 2001. The Magpies are winless in 30 against Reds when conceding at least once. So every time they concede to Man United, there is no way. They obviously put in a shift to see to it that they come in through and really win the club of Manchester United. So that's what the history is really showing us. But Newcastle has some good players, by the way. Bruno Guimaraes, Anthony Gordon here. There is Amiron. Ishak is back to lead that line, and Harry Maguire will need to obviously put in a very good shift every time he's being called upon to do the needful. And I think we can capitalize onto that shaky defense of Newcastle, and we really put those balls past them. Kylian Trippier taking on Alejandro Garnacho is really a huge one that we need to look at, and that's a battle that most of you are really going to enjoy, because Kylian Trippier is not as fast as you expect him to be, but with his experience, you don't really downplay his efforts to come in through and obviously stop Alejandro Garnacho. But even Garnacho is in fine form, he's on fire. He might be the biggest outlet that United will ever have. That's why I want Anthony to be on the bench, such that as Rashford paves way for Anthony comes in through to add more fuel, to the burning fire, and then Anthony will come in through and really put in a shift. If he can obviously get us the performance he really put up at Galatasaray, then trust me, we are going to win this game. If our 2 outlets are really operating at full wavelength, then we are going to win this game. Newcastle is in a terrible state, and I think we are not losing at Newcastle. The worst result we are getting at Newcastle is going to be a draw, but all in all, we can obviously beat them. So I'm calling in for a shocking United win. A 3-2 win for the club of Man United. I'm calling in for, and I don't see a loss of Man United. That is it. So, thank you very much for watching through. Rokan David is my name, and hope you guys are really having a fantastic evening wherever you are. Tell me your thoughts about my predicted starting 11. Will Luke Shaw close down Amilon? Will Harry Maguire and Lindelof stop Ishak? Bruno Gimares and Joe Wellington taking on Amrabat and Scott McTominay at St. James's Park. Will it be a battle won by Man United? All that and more into the comment section. And I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. Hope you guys are really having a fantastic stay wherever you are. And will Rasmus Hojlund really score his first Premier League goal? The Muslims Barakallahu Fikum. Rokan David remains my name. Don't forget to subscribe. We are